Welcome to the Four Elements headquarters here in Nottingham. Thank you for backing the Kickstarter. My name is Robert, aka FireBreath.
And my name is Shrenik, and I'm the Mevrick. So today we're talking about how my experience was involved playing with three other friends in this game called as Four Seasons. And it was quite interesting because we played the game without a mat. And why was that? Because I have played n number of times before, and we have seen that we had a mat all the time, but this time we had no mat. Why is it?
So I said, guys, that table is so big, you can have a much bigger game there if you don't use the 1 square meter playing mat. And it's also to demonstrate that you really don't need a playing mat, because you can play on any table and then the playing area is different every time.
Quite true. Yeah, so we started without the mat, and we all three players, strategically we aligned all our elements, barriers, and protecting our lord.
And you can see here the setups there. Fire is really close to the middle.
Yeah.
Why was that, do you think?
I don't know. He just wanted his lord to be quite far away from the boundary,
yeah,
so that it could take a really long hit for the other guy to hit it. So look at the way he flicks it.
So that is our first flick here. Fire goes first, attacks water, and everything just goes all over the place. Because this table, what was your experience with that table?
The table was quite smooth and quite fast actually. Look at the way the coins are deflecting and moving away so fast. So with the mat it's quite rough, but the friction is a lot on the mat, but on different surfaces we get to experience different level of user experience in this game, and that's what I like about it, because there's no predictability.
Yeah.
And you can't predict how the users would play and whom they would attack. So it's quite important to make a proper shape. Like look at the air, how he has built a boundary.
Yeah, it basically just moved backwards.
Quite true.
It didn't fall apart like the other elements did. So that comes quite handy in this sort of smooth surface.
Yeah. And look at why do you think he has placed his lord like about 2 elements?
Yeah, so you can see from this shot now, the lord would have been out if it would have been on the floor, on the ground. But because it was elevated, it survived this shot. So that comes really handy in this sort of smooth surface. When we play on the playing mat, we sometimes find the elements flying though.
Okay.
And then they will just take off and knock the lord off no matter how high it is. So you gotta sort of bury it in. But we see fire here, being in a good position, whereas water basically falling apart. The lord is exposed. Now what would you do if you were water in this scenario?
I would try to hide behind some of the barriers here.
So you'd move back defensively?
I would move. Look at the way he's playing. He's trying to defend it.
Yeah. Definitely.
And which elements do you like the most? Do you have any favorites?
So I like fire a lot. I've been playing that recently. But statistics show that Earth is really strong in the current season, which of course will be changed for the final Kickstarter version. But you can see the Earth pieces went everywhere, but your lord has not been touched. So I think
because I was I made a 2 layer of elements and 2 barriers below it.
Wow.
Because I knew that the surface is quite smooth, so I just wanted to be overprotective about my lord, so that I could use him on the very last verge of using him. Other than that, I just wanted him to be safe in the castle I built for him. Look at the way he flicked all the coins, but still my lord was untouched at the end of the game, just because it was elevated. For these kinds of smooth surfaces, I feel that the elevation is required.
Yeah, what's water gonna do now? There's not much left there. Probably get rid of that air piece that's threatening to hit the lord. Yeah, and that was a really good shot there. Solid, your water piece did not leave your area.
What I like about this game also, you cannot be sure exactly what you think it's gonna happen. And that's the kind of uncertainty is good for this game.
But would you say there's a certain level of skill involved as well?
Oh, definitely, yes. It matters how you aim the coin, how you aim the elements, and then how you and what strength you use on it. Because I have seen some of the strengths wherein when someone tries to flick it, it just goes in the air.
But I think air as well. Look at that setup. The lords basically stayed in the same place, whereas the barriers, connected as they are, moved underneath the lord. So it looks so solid there that The only reason really for people to attack air now is to show that it's not overpowered, and people really want to show other people that their element is superior here. What shot are we gonna see now? Oh, that was
that was you know, that's what I call, like, you have to aim it properly.
Yeah.
And this is why, if you don't aim it, probably it's because of the adrenaline rush what I feel in this game. I have played like around 7 to 8 times by now, I guess. And I've seen that, once you start the game, you're really strategic, and you place the coins quite well. But as the game proceeds, you start to feel the heat, and then you try to be, play as fast as possible to, and that's what, you need to think about it, like how to play this.
Look at that shot now. The Lord stays untouched still. Those air barriers are strong as they are in the beginning. Not one has come off the table.
Yeah, this is what I was talking. You need to have strength as well. Look at the way, now the Lord is exposed.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of still safe because there's no direct way of knocking it off the table. That's why air is going for water in this case. You could argue that moving the Lord somewhere else would have helped, but look at that shot. The air piece came right back where it was.
Yeah.
That is quite impressive there.
It's because of the smooth surface, I believe. If it was a rough surface, then I think it would have gone further ahead. So what tips do you have for beginners in this game? I mean, like, what do you think?
So it's definitely, as you said, that skill in flicking. It doesn't just come from flicking hard, but it's about taking your time and really thinking about the flick. Which of your elements is the best one to flick at any time? There's so many options, and
yeah, but sometimes you're surrounded with 3 to 4 elements and you just have one move. And why did you think that it should be a turn-based game? Because sometimes when a guy is surrounded by 3 other enemies, you could say, what's the he's helpless in that situation.
Yeah, but that situation came from somewhere. It might have been caused by something that happened 3 turns away when you were too offensive and didn't defend yourself. Oh, did we just see the Air Lord being knocked off there?
Yeah, that was my shot actually.
Yeah, on a killing spree here.
I was the one who knocked out, all the 3 lords were there. 2 lords.
Yeah, that's why we invited you here, because you had a great game there.
Yeah. I love this game. I genuinely love this game.
So air is out now. We take all the pieces off, and that provides a lot more area over there.
I had another question right over there. Why do you remove all the pieces? Why don't you keep it just there? Because it could act as a barrier to others as well, right?
Yeah.
If anyone wants to hide in that place, probably.
And there's one of these things that shows that these rules are not made up by anyone. It just happened over time. When we were playing over the last year and intensely testing it, then people just automatically, without being told what to do after the Lord's out, they would just remove the elements. And it was, I'd say, 9 out of 10 times people think that is the way to play the game. So all we did there is write down what people did. And we call it rules, but basically it's more the common way of playing the game.
Look at the way I hit once and the whole, every move, every strategy of him was destroyed in one move.
Yeah. You basically aimed for the heart.
Don't you think that Sam is being too defensive in this game?
Which element is that?
The water.
Water to extent.
Yeah.
It might have been that shock from the beginning when everyone attacked him.
Okay.
That he just said, okay, I'm gonna stay out of trouble now. But then later, people might just pick on him just because of being too defensive. It's always that mind game, What are the other people thinking? And
look at him. The fire has elements all everywhere, but he's been targeting water all the time.
Yeah. And at this point, it would have been better, definitely, for fire to attack Earth. That's just been untouched for the last couple of moves. And it's well spread out, Earth, as well. You've done it really well. You get elements all over the table, you get loads of possible moves there. Yeah, so that was an amazing shot there. Shows that you've played Karam before.
Yeah.
Which is an Indian game, for those of you who don't know it, which involves flicking as well.
Yeah, I used to love that game. I have been to, one of the top levels in my school and in one of the tournaments. So I was really good at that game, and that's why I like this game even more actually, because with that we have a specified boundary, and it's a close combat game. But with here you can choose any surface to play this game.
So the game evolved now to a one-on-one Earth versus Fire, and both players don't really have many elements left. But that element is so well positioned. He's trying to calculate there, aren't you? What to do?
I knew the Lord is not going to flick off, but it was required for me to use all my strength because I had to remove those barriers below the Lord.
I mean, you sacrificed one element there to get the Lord exposed. Well, your Lord, you can't see it from this angle, but it's still on top of another element, so it's still safe for at least one shot from fire.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay. He tries to, protect it, but
he was trying to protect it.
That's what being accurate in this game is also one of the skills you need to have.
So Earth does not have many elements left now to attack, but the Lord is exposed. So
this is the strategy I was using there. I wanted to, put my barriers, like in between the Lord, because even my Lord is exposed right now.
Yeah. So you moved your element in between the two Lords to make sort of a defense, and that was too careful there. You did not have enough energy, but you missed anyway. So your piece would have gone off. So it was probably better to be careful.
That was the last second element what I had, and if I had missed this, if it had gone out of the boundary, then I would have been forced to use my Lord.
But Fire as well. Fire misses it. It was a straight shot, just a bit more force, and the last available Earth element would have been off the table there. But now it's moving towards the Lord. What were you thinking there? Why did you just leave that Fire piece alone, and why did you say going for the Lord is the right option?
Because I wanted to flick the Lord, and I knew that my Lord is still safe because I had only one element left, and I wanted to place that element strategically, and that's the reason I moved it this angle.
Yeah, and he moved his Lord again, trying to be in a better position. So basically that box in the middle is fulfilling the purpose of an obstacle.
Did you see there? I tried to move it to strategic position. I got the position, but I missed it this time. Yeah. And this is where the accuracy.
So he's trying to hide that, and then he's saying, "Okay, I'm going for it." No, there is quite a lot out there.
I still don't
on
believe
the floor.
He shouldn't have taken that move out, I believe, because
it was too risky, wasn't it?
Too risky. Plus, he had two elements right over there, which he could have used.
Alright, that was the Earth Lord there, yeah.
And this is me.
Victory pose. And let's see that in slow motion again, guys. Okay, this is the final shot.
He missed it completely.
He touched the Earth element, so that was the intention, but there was so much force behind the Lord. Boom. That barrier would have caught the Lord in the usual case, but that Earth piece knocked away the fire barrier. So the Earth piece stays on and the Lord goes off. And here again, slow motion, the final shot of the game, the Earth piece stays on, the Fire Lord went out. So we've talked quite a bit about positioning and what you like about the game. Is there anything else you want to add?
Oh, I think in order to play this game, you just have to be in a very like happy-minded mood, and you have to be tricky as well, because it's a game and definitely everyone wants to win the game, and so you have to think rationally about how the other player is thinking, because the way he strategizes his all the pawns and barriers and the Lord. You would see how defensive he plays, or how much he attacks, and that's the reason. So I in the first 3 or 4 moves I try to analyze how is he playing. Is he attacking too much? Is he defending too much? Or is he attacking just one guy or other guys? And depending upon that, I make my move on him.
I mean, in 4-player game, there is quite a lot to analyze there. There's a lot of potential depth to this game, but at the same time, would you say it's suitable for children and families?
Oh yeah, children would love this game, and it's a game for a family as well. You go to any outdoors, whether it's windy, rainy, or any situation, this game could come handy at any point of time, and that's the best part. Kids, adults, old people, and all. It's a game for everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just some final announcement there. Soon we will be releasing the stretch goals for the Kickstarter, where there's more for you for the same amount of money. Also, today we are launching the dice league in Nottingham where you're playing every week and you can gather points to qualify for a potential tournament in the future.
Thank you, Robert, for the game. It's been really interesting, and yeah, let's play again.
Yeah, let's play again, and let's see how the Kickstarter goes. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, maybe a bit more unprofessional next time, then subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Thank you.